Hello, welcome to my channel, I'm glad to see you. One of the perks, you could say, of growing up learning a language that is not English or Japanese is that this might as well be this. Since I didn't understand what either one means. And the good thing about it is that I grew up playing games for their gameplay, not their story. Since I didn't understand any of it anyways. And because of that, I was able to enjoy some games that never left Japan. Like for example Kitchen Panic, a neat little platformer for the PS1. Or Choro Key 3, an open world racing game with an emphasis on adventure and exploration. Or Pepsi Man, this wonderful runner that was Temple Run way before its time. But definitely the game that had the most impact on me was Racing Lagoon. This wonderful and weird racing game that mixes elements of RPG, creating an experience never seen before, or after for that matter. And to celebrate 1000 subscribers, I decided to talk about this amazing game. But before we start, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And with that out of the way, let's begin. And first of all, we aren't in 1999 anymore, thankfully. And because of that, it's not necessary to play this game in Japanese. Thanks to the efforts of Hilltop Works, this amazing group of talented people, we now have this game fully playable in English. I'll be linking their Patreon on the description because they deserve it. And it's a good thing that we have this game fully playable in English, because let me tell you, the story in this game is a sight to behold. You need to play it to believe it. Throughout the years, as I finished this game multiple times in Japanese, I got glimpses of the story, but I never truly understood it, not until I played the translation patch. And I gotta say, the wait was worth it. I was feeling emotional at the time I finished the translated game. I will not be giving any major spoilers in this review. Not because I believe that something that was released literally 26 years ago, holy shit, should be spoiler free, but because I want you to experience this game's story firsthand. It is a Squaresoft game from the 90s, so you know you're in for a treat. And the story begins normally, as an illegal racing crew tale, showing the rivalry between the Bay Lagoon racing crew and the Night Racers, and alluding to a legend of the best racer that ever was. Someone that was unstoppable 10 years ago, but vanished into thin air. These racers intend of reviving the legend. And that's where we find our self-named character, an 18-year-old guy who's there just to race. And let me tell you, the story might begin as something normal, expected by a racing game, but it takes a turn for the melancholic very quickly, and it never stops after that. There's a lot of twists and turns in this game, and I'm not just talking about the courses. You'll never be bored, I guarantee it. And let's talk about the art style. It's incredibly unique. It might look ugly at first, this puppet-like 3D renders moving in a very uncanny way, but I was enamored by it quickly, simply because of how different it is from everything I've seen at the time. And although it might look like a limitation at first, it becomes clear that it's a choice by the developers. The way the cutscenes look is very stylish, they go for some very artistic angles. The lighting is also very surreal, it's very overblown in some instances in order to prioritize the focus in some characters or scenes. It's hard to explain, it's a very melancholic looking game. The way Yokohama is represented here is very interesting. Even though the city is very bustling, something that you can see even with the unique game perspective, you almost feel like you're all alone, looking for direction or the meaning of what racing is supposed to make you feel. And let's talk about this perspective. It's almost like the overworld of Final Fantasy games of the past. Final Fantasy VIII is the one that comes to mind, especially when you're cruising in a vehicle. And I love this choice, because this perspective, in my opinion, helps with the overall feel this game is aiming at. You feel so small in this huge city, cars passing by, pedestrians going through their lives. This city feels real, lived in, even with the clear limitations of the PS1. And every time I unlocked a new part of the map to explore, I was ecstatic to do so. And each part of the map feels very different from each other. Even when North Yokohama looks similar to South Yokohama, to the point of having a Ferris wheel, which they feel completely distinct, which is a testament to the strong art direction of the game. Climbing Hakone twists and turns is completely different from racing full throttle in the C1 highways. Not unlike how Initial D feels completely different from Wanga Midnight, despite both being animes about cars. And one very important aspect of this game is that does wonders for the general vibes of it is the soundtrack. Oh my god, this game soundtrack. It has a perpetual spot on my iPod, and I listen to it constantly. I even put some of this game's songs in other videos. Not sure if any of you noticed it? Comment down below if you did. And yeah, I still use an iPod. I hate streaming service and I refuse to use them. Call me a hipster if you want, I wear that as a badge of honor. But anyway, back to the music. It's jazzy, melodic, collected, cool, energetic. It's exactly what it needs to be whenever it needs to be. Noriko Matsueda and Takahito Eguchi, the game composers, did a banging job. Hats off to you both. I hope both of you return to the gaming industry someday. Your work elevates the piece of art you're a part of. But let's talk about the gameplay now. And like I said at the beginning of the video, that was what sold me on this game at first, since I didn't understand what was going on in the story. In my last gaming recommendation video, I talked about Need for Speed Underground, and in there I said that the Underground was the OG when it comes to street racing and car customization in gaming. But that's not entirely true. You see, Racing Lagoon came out 2 years before even the first Fast and Furious movie came out.
Watch your back! Hey man, he was in my face.
I'm in your face.
And in this game you will have both street racing and customization. Lots of customization in fact. One of the things that make this game stand out when it comes to car customization is how the car parts are separated. We have the engine, which is self-explanatory. The better the engine and parts, the faster you go.
Whoa! He's got one of those big shiny things with a lot of tubes and curly coils coming out of it. With a red doohickey and... Vin, he's got one of those fancy thingamajiggers.
That's the real deal.
And then there's the chassis, which decides the drivetrain of your vehicle and how it handles. Then there's the body, which is mostly for how your car looks, but also how aerodynamic it is. And we can mix and match these parts to create some truly unique cars. Let's take this gorgeous Honda Civic for example. I know it's impossible to improve on perfection, but let's try anyways. You see, as a standard, the Civic is a FF car, which means that the engine is in front and the wheel that is powered is the front one. So, using the regular chassis and body, we have the regular Civic as we know and love, and you better love it. But if we change the chassis to a FR1, meaning front mounted engine, rear traction, look, the engine bay of the Civic gets bigger. AMR chassis, meaning mid-mounted engine, rear traction, make it look like a chubby Fiero. Here's the RR chassis, rear engine, rear traction, and suddenly we get a fatter Porsche, or a slimmer Beetle? Put a 4-wheel drive chassis on it and we got a cool little rally car, how cool is that? And that's changing just the chassis. When it comes to aeros, we can make the Civic wide body, we can put bolt-ons, we can make it look like a Le Mans car. We can make it look completely crazy with Bozozoku mods, which is like a Japanese tuner cars on steroids.
Oh, fuck yeah, this is the shit! Kill me now!
Or we can rise it the hell up with Diablo Aeros. Add paint jobs, spoilers, and stickers, and you can make your car stand out. But customizing the visuals is one thing, and although God gives the loudest exhaust pipes to the slowest Hondas, We can engine swap anything, and I mean anything. Want a Ferrari engine on a Beetle? Go for it, the sky's the limit. And just like a good RPG game, correctly keeping your engine can make all the difference. Even the slowest engines can become beasts with a good -1 low comp piston and a few turbos. And I know this game is hard, punishingly so at the beginning. So I'll leave a link to a magnificent tutorial in the video description. It's entirely in Japanese, but you can translate it, and it's amazing to help you find the best parts for your car. It's been helping me for over 10 years, and I'm sure it will help you as well. And there's so many kinds of races in this game. The one you'll do the most are the point-to-point street races. They're the random encounters of the game per se. They are quick and short, and you do them a lot in order to accumulate your reputation. Then use those reputation points to get rewards. The game is a system in which you can essentially steal a part from the opponent car, and those parts could be simple things like tires and brake calipers, to the whole goddamn engine. Is insane. And those quick races never get old. It's so much fun to see your record time in each race gets faster and faster each time you upgrade your car. You also have drag races, chicken races, rally races, tight corners Chinatown LA races, and much more. This game is a full meal course for racing fanatics, especially if by any chance you also love old school Square RPGs. And let's be honest, who doesn't? So please give this game a chance. It might be hard at first, but when you get the hang of drifting the corners at high speed, even cars that are much faster than yours don't stand a chance. I've been recommending this game even when it was completely in Japanese years ago. Now that it's completely translated, there's never been a better time to jump in this absolutely hidden gem of a game. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Have you played it before? Do you intend on giving it a try? Please do. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a like and consider subscribing, because I intend on doing many more videos like this one. And once again, thank you very much for 1000 subscribers. I'm having a blast doing these videos, and I hope to keep doing them for a very long time. But that's it for now. Bye bye.